Hey, what's going on, guys? God Shed here, and welcome. So today, I had a topic in mind that I wanted to talk. Oh God, that's a bit steamy. Let's try. There we go. So I had a topic that I wanted to talk about today. Why on earth is that steaming up so much? But first, before we get into that, I've finally managed to find a sunny day where I can wear my new citties. See? And they're perforated. Even at 40 miles an hour, I can feel the airflow coming through them. These are going to be fantastic boots, providing they're comfortable. So, today's topic is cars, petrol, internal combustion. Not necessarily cars and things like that, but you may have read in the news that petrol engines, the sale of new petrol engines is going to be banned by the year 2040. Now, for me, I felt quite sad actually, because there's many reasons. So, obviously, you know, everything's either most likely going to go electric, looking at the way things are now. But for me, it's quite sad because part of motorbikes for me and for cars is the sound of them. Now, if you're a petrol head, you completely get this. It's the sensory experience, a car or a bike or whatever it is, an aeroplane. It's the look of it, it's the sound of it, it's the vibrations of it, the smell of it. It's a complete sensory overload. So to get something with an electric engine, you're not going to get the smell and you're not going to get the sound. So, I mean, the biggest thing, I think, for me, is going to be what's going to happen to the petrol head. Petrol, providing they carry on making it, because obviously as stocks run low, prices go up. As electric cars become more common, so do the second-hand ones, which means more people can afford them. So more people, as the price of petrol goes, as the government phases out cars and cars die and bikes die and things like that, people are going to change over to electric. Now, the more people that change over to electric, it means that the less petrol people are going to sell. Therefore, there will be less money in oil. So eventually, it's going to become so expensive that people just won't use it. They'll use electric. And I think, and the oil companies, because there won't be as much money in it, they'll stop producing it, because not so many people there's not such a great demand for it. One of two things is going to happen. Oh, hello. I think petrol vehicles are going to become like horses, where they will be at the enjoyment of the enthusiasts. Now, but that's the problem, because wholesales aren't sold, so therefore classic sort of cars and things will stop being produced. So you get, you know, things rust, things break, things get crashed. All of these things, it's not going to make it great. Electric vehicles are not there. They're not in a position where they can be used as every form of transport. If you think about it, a battery has a finite life, doesn't it? So, okay, so does a tank of petrol. But a tank of petrol takes a couple of minutes to fill up. A battery takes hours. So if people don't go for electric, and electric powered vehicles and lorries and things like that, and lorries are going to be the big one, because lorries, obviously, they have to travel huge mileage. Now, they are saying no petrol cars, so technically you could argue that commercial vehicles are going to get away with it, and they'll be able to make diesel and things for commercial uses, because the range of them is much better than a shitload of batteries. But all your cars and things like that, everyone likes some type of car, because they like the look of it, they like the colour of it, they like that they can go to the shops in it. You know, it's all the cars that people enjoy and things like that. The sound of a V12 Ferrari, the sound of a 7.2 litre V8, the sound of a V4. You're not going to hear those things again, because once they stop producing new vehicles, it's not long before they stop producing petrol and diesel. And that's a shame. All these amazing machines that people have bought and looked after and things are just going to turn into pieces of art or in a salvage yard. So let's face it, not everyone wants a piece of art in the shape of a car on their driveway. But that's the saddest thing. These things are going to become redundant. So looking at a cure as such, what can we do? So in terms of replacing petrol, there really, I see, is two options. There is the electric car, which seems to be taking off now. You know, electric cars they're getting there. They're still not great, but they're getting there. Now, I don't think electricity works. People jump in their car and they want to go somewhere. They don't want to sit around and wait for it to charge, you know, because they forgot the pint of milk when they did their weekly shop or whatever. They don't want to come back from a holiday, forget to charge the car, and then it turns out they can't get to work. Because let's face it, people are that dumb. For me, electricity doesn't fit in modern society. In terms of powering vehicles, it really doesn't. Yes, it's clean, but where does the electricity come from? We have an energy shortage as it is, but the reason for that is because our coal power stations aren't running at 100%. We're trying to switch to renewables. Think how many wind farms and things like that we're going to have to build to power our road networks. Jesus Christ, you're talking along. It's going to be massive. The investment is going to be huge, and I don't think it's going to work. Where I see the solution coming from, and I may be way off topic, is hydrogen. Hydrogen is hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, okay? So it's great. It's this completely revolutionary idea where you drive your vehicle powered with hydrogen. When the tank gets empty, you go to a hydrogen filling station, you put a nozzle into the tank, and it takes a couple of minutes to fill up. Now, hydrogen vehicles already have the range of petrol vehicles. The technology existed. Honda built a hydrogen car years ago now, must be 5-6 years ago at least. They built a hydrogen filling station in America to see if it would work, and it did. But for some reason everyone's got it into their heads that electricity is the way forward. I don't understand how electricity, being as archaic as it is, can possibly be the solution to the future. I don't get it. God. And hydrogen vehicles work. They're not that much more expensive than normal petrol cars new. I don't see the downside. There's zero emissions. In fact, I'm wrong. There is emissions. Do you know what it emits? A hydrogen vehicle? A tiny little bit of H2O. Really, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Hydrogen is the most abundant resource in our universe. What could possibly be better than that? But sorry, it's sort of turned into a little bit of a rant, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I really would. Jesus Christ, you lemon. Come on, keep going. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts, so let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you ever so much for watching, and take care.